A new virus has emerged in the year 2019. It is called the COVID-19. The COVID-19 is similar to MERS and SARS, but less lethal and more contagious. The virus came from the province of Wuhan, China. It came from wild animals such as bats, which were sold in restaurants. The virus was discovered by Dr. WENLIANG in the month of December 2019. He spread the word about this new lethal virus, but unfortunately, it made him a fugitive in China. Then he died in a hospital from his own discovered virus. COVID-19 virus, unlike bacteria, is not a living organism but a submicroscopic infectious agent that replicates inside the living cells of an organism. The common symptoms are fever, cough, and shortness of breath. These symptoms for severe cases of COVID are diarrhea, vomiting, stroke, loss of smell and taste. During day 1, the symptoms will start mild, fever, cough, and fatigue. By day 5, if COVID is severe, the symptoms will become worse and patients will have difficulty breathing, especially if they are old or have pre-existing conditions. During days 7 to 8, patients will require to go to the hospital and be intubated. By day 10, the patients will most likely be transferred to the ICU and they will suffer from abdominal pain and appetite loss. The fatality rate at this stage hovers at 4%. At day 21, most patients are discharged from the hospital, but some can stay until the 27th day. However, not everyone recovers from the COVID-19. Older people and people with pre-existing condition suffer organ failure, stroke, sepsis, acute respiratory disease syndrome, pneumonia in the lungs, which can lead to death. In the case of complications with pneumonia, the COVID-19 virus enters the lungs and the body's own immune system will attack the lungs as phlegm and antibodies flood it. The body will lose oxygen and the patient will die from suffocation. COVID-19 infected the whole world. As of April 19, 2020, the top 10 countries with the most infection are USA, Spain, Italy, Germany, France, China, Iran, UK, Turkey, Belgium. Meanwhile, my home country Philippines has 4,076 cases of COVID-19 infections, while my country of residence, UAE, has 2,659 cases of COVID-19 infections. The total number of infections from these 12 countries are 1,073,528. The total number of deaths from these 12 countries are 79,082. How did COVID-19 become a global pandemic? People infected with the virus can have no symptoms from day 1 to 14 of infection. Patients with no symptoms and mild symptoms were carriers of the virus to the rest of the population. When these patients cough, they can spread contaminated droplets and other people can breathe in those droplets. When the COVID-19 became a pandemic, a lot of changes happened around us. Hello. Schools shut down to prevent further spread of infection, and e-learning became a normal routine of learning. Employees worked from home, while those people whose job cannot be done at home were forced to accept the reality of no work, no pay. People are prayed for permits to go out of the house and wore masks and other protective clothing such as gloves. Families and friends can no longer visit each other and do group activities because social and outdoor activities are banned. People also forgot about the humanity and resorted back to the survival of the fittest. The Asians became a target of racism and violence in many Western countries because of the irrational fear that all Asians are affected with COVID-19. People fought against each other in supermarkets in the race to hoard the supplies. Elderly people and poor people with no extra cash were left to shop in stores with empty shelves. The global economy was also severely affected by the COVID-19. Tourist attractions and hotels shut down and laid off employees because there are no more guests staying with them. Cruise ships with infected passengers were denied entry in seaports. Operations were shut down as more and more cruise ships became COVID-19 hotspots. Cruise line employees were sent home unemployed. Malls closed because of government-imposed quarantines, so retailers lose their customers. Employers are unable to pay their employees. As more countries impose lockdown, flight passengers decreased and airlines have grounded their airplanes. Airline revenue were affected and employees were laid off or placed on temporary unpaid leave. So what are countries doing to stop the COVID-19 or slowing it down? So in China, the first epicenter of the pandemic, the government locked down Wuhan. They also built additional hospitals in less than 10 days. Security personnel in public spaces measure the temperature of citizens with a thermometer gun to check for fever. People going out of their homes are also required to wear masks. Public spaces are also continuously disinfected. COVID testing kits were also mass-produced to test as much people for infection and then quarantine those who tested positive to avoid the spread. Government subsidy for food and basic necessities were also given to their citizens. Due to the recommendation of WHO, other countries with COVID infection have followed the same strategy as China to slow down the spread of infection among their people. But most countries have prioritized the fast tracking for the mass testing of their citizens with the COVID-19 testing kits. How does a COVID-19 testing kit works? Samples of blood are drawn from patients and these samples are placed in a machine that looks for a certain protein. Within 15 minutes, the lab technician
will be able to get a result. If a test result is positive, the patient can be isolated right away.
Vaccine is not enough to stop COVID-19. The real solution is a vaccine. The race is on among nations to create the first COVID-19 vaccine.
A vaccine is a biological preparation that provides active acquired immunity to an infectious disease. A vaccine typically contains an agent that resembles a disease-causing microorganisms and is often made from weakened or killed forms of the microbe. Its toxins or its surface proteins.
But while the vaccine is not yet created, what can each of us do to stop the spread of the virus?
First of all, always wash your hands. A drop of ordinary soap diluted in water is sufficient to rupture and kill many types of bacteria and viruses. The secret to soap's impressive powers might be its hybrid structure. The soap removes the fat from the virus. If you wash your hands for 20 seconds, then the virus gets washed down by the water.
Second, stay at home.
Do not socialize with people outside your household, even if they are family and friends. You can spread the virus even if you don't have symptoms of it. But if you cannot stay at home and you need to go out for food, health products, and work, practice social distancing.
Also, don't forget to wear masks and gloves.
Refrain from touching objects that could have been touched by other people. Lastly, take a bath once you arrive home and disinfect all belongings that came from outside your house. You can make your own disinfectant spray from bleach and water. You just need 3 cups of bleach for every liter of water.
In our own way, we can help to stop the COVID-19 and be a hope for humanity.